Yeah. Here
Yeah,
we
let's
go.
go.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. So welcome back to Easy Alpha. So
Thanks.
it's yeah, thank you. I'm your host Jaden, founder of Coin이지, Korea Web3 GTM agency. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Aurélie, Boiteux for the full name, let's say. I'm the growth lead at Nansen. So I cover mainly west part of APAC,
Mhm.
plus EMEA. So basically all Europe, plus a large part of Africa, all the Gulf states as well. So let's just say that I have a lot of work working at Nansen, but also very rewarding and interesting. And
Mm.
that's who I am, and been in crypto for 10 years already.
Wow.
Quite a long time. I feel a bit
Yeah,
old though.
that's a really OG. Same.
Oh my
I
god,
entered
yes.
7 years
Yeah,
before.
look,
Uh,
okay, so both OGs here.
we still and still believe in it, skin in the game, right?
Yeah. It's like but I mean the crypto 10 years ago is no has changed so much. Like, it's always a good opportunity to learn, discover new things. So
Thousand percent.
that's
Thousand
and I
percent.
think it's the good sign as well. We're still here, dude.
Yeah, we're surviving.
We're surviving. That's fine.
So funny. Yeah, I mean the for Korean viewers
Yep.
meeting Nansen for the first time,
Yep.
what is Nansen in one or two sentence, and what problem does it solve that a price chart cannot?
Yes, so it's actually very easy to understand Nansen. So we are an AI-powered analytics platform, let's say. And what we do is simple. Let's say you are interested in an investment on chain, whatever that is, no financial advice, so we keep that very light. What you do is you go to Nansen, you check what the on-chain data are saying about Nansen. On Nansen about the crypto market. That's better that way. So you check the on-chain data, then you act on it based on the results and based on your own decision. So you trade or not, and then you protect your portfolio with Nansen. And all of that to say, we are very famous for the data we have, and that's mainly what we do. And we are making sure that anyone who wants to trade on chain has the tool they need to make informed decision, to make their due diligence. So that's what Nansen is about. And on the price chart, this is actually a good question and something that I'm trying to answer every time I think I meet someone new. Is that, let's say you are interested in an XYZ token, whatever that is. That's great, right? You see on Twitter that people are hoping in, and you see prices are going up. So, oh my God, great. It might be a good moment for me to jump into this token and basically to do my swap. But then the price will tell you what? Just it's going up or down. That's pretty much as much as you have in terms of information. What you have with Nansen, however, is a bit different. Is that you are interested in this token, but then you can verify what is going on. Who is making the price change? Are there like retail users or early investors or smart money? So basically, it brings context, and that's extremely important when you trade on chain. So there is a say that I have is that a price chart. If you use only a price chart for trading, you are trading blindly. You basically you just have the price, and that's as much as you know. If you trade with on-chain data, if you trade with data in general, then you have basically glasses to what is going on there. And that's, I think, what is, in my opinion, important and what we are trying to solve as well.
1000%. I think you need to do your own research, and those kind of
Exactly.
on-chain data really help. It's not like really like kind of genie, like you that solve
Yeah,
like every single thing, but it's better to check on-chain data so you
exactly.
have exactly
And
what's going on.
yeah, and something that I say is like, like you go to Twitter, you see someone, whatever, whoever that is, saying that, oh yeah, hype in this token. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but why? Who? Like,
True.
Okay, then you verify with on-chain data. And then you can see like, oh, actually, there is a lot of like smart money going to this token. So maybe it's interesting to do a bit more due diligence. Or then you check and you're like, hell no, I should not jump into that because like the data are telling me that it's not a good idea.
True.
And that is a way to protect yourself in a sense. Is like you do your research and then you make a decision based not on hype and what you see on crypto Twitter, but based on real information, real data. Of course, the choice will always be yours. The decision will always be yours. But at least you're making informed decision.
True.
And it is so important these days, in particular.
1000%. I totally agree with you. Nansen is best known for like smart money, like you mentioned.
Yes, right.
And what actually qualifies a wallet as smart money, and how does Nansen put labels on, for example, 500 million plus anonymous addresses?
Yes, so it goes to first how we label wallets. So basically on-chain data, you have a top different on-chain data, but if we talk about the wallets themselves, or it's basically, long story short, who they are. What are their behavior on-chain? So behavior, who they are is the first one. Of course, I'm not talking about like Aurélie bought a wallet. No one cares about that. Unless you are a very big, let's say, KOLs or anything. But what is important is like, what is this wallet doing? What is this behavior? Is basically the person or the company behind is, let's say, Ethereum millionaires? Are there a whale? Are there meme coin traders, etc.? So what we do in Nansen is simple. We have algorithm plus historical data check plus people checking, like real people. The age of AI, that's a bit interesting, but we have real people checking all of this information. Oh, I'm seeing this historical data. It's linked to that this person is a main contributor. That's an easy example, but that's the type of thing that we check. Sure. And based on all of that, we label the wallet. For example, that could be NFT traders, if we still have a lot of, I'm not too sure we have too many people there, but that's the type of wallet you can have, right? Based on what you have. But then we have smart money. At smart money, those people are basically the top of the top, basically the winner of the winner for their own categories. So I was, for example, like meme coin traders, right? If we have like a smart money for this category, it says that basically they are the one making the more and more money. Basically, the top trader, 0.1% of the wallets. So basically, their P&L is crazy, and they know how things works. And that's what we label as smart money. Those who are winning in their own category. And I think it's between 0.1% to 0.01% of the top wallet. So we're talking like a very small category. Yeah. But that's what we want. We want the whales. We want the people who are making money.
Yeah, even the I was in the NFC summit in Lisbon. I met an NFT trader. So he knows all the on-chain data, and he has eyes to see what flow of price is better and things like that other people cannot find.
Yes.
So it was really interesting. Still had finding a niche market, and he's like really savage on his trading. So I guess all this on-chain data and your personal experience can really help your trading.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think especially the case for like a niche trading. You were talking about NFT. This is one I have in mind because we know that NFT is a bit lower than it used to be a few years ago, right? But for whatever niche you are, for whatever your interest is, right? Because like anyone, basically you can trade a lot of stuff, but you have your personal appetite as well. It's like, are you much more let's all in meme coin, or are you a little bit more like conservative? So degen versus conservative, that's a bit of an idea here. And based on that, you can have like your own strategy and you verify things. That's as easy as it is.
1000%. Yeah. Like in terms of like Korean users, Korea is one of the most active crypto markets in the world. Yeah, but most activities exist on the central exchange, Upbit or like Bithumb. Like Upbit is roughly like 7 to like 80% domestic volume.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, for sure. And it's like, yeah, Korean market is one of like, I remember doing a lot of research about the Korean market, and even this day, like, because I'm based in Korea, right? So of course I'm interested in what is going on around me, right? And the market. But there is something very interesting about Korea that you don't see in a lot of other markets. Is like, first, you have a lot of people trading crypto. And I'm not talking about young people, but also the old generation.
It is.
So first of all, it's like if you check like let's say the age range, pretty much like all age range have crypto traders, which I think to start with is very interesting. But if you're talking also about like centralized exchanges, I don't have the exact data on top of mind, but I'm very aware that the large majority of the swap, let's say of the investment, is actually Korean one pair and native token. So basically a specific chain. I don't know, I'm thinking about Near because I was reading about Near a few minutes ago, but like it could be Tron, etc., etc. So it's basically native token. But on top of that, the Korean market is extremely reactive. And that's insane. Like to positive insane. But me coming from France, when I arrived, so I was doing researches about crypto like 10 years ago in France, and I arrived in Korea, and so how different the two markets are. It's so reactive here that sometimes I'm like, okay, hold on, I need to check what is going on there. But I'm joking about that, but I think it's particularly the case. So think about the centralized exchanges in Korea, right? You can think about, let's think about a bit because that's a major one, but there is a few others, right? I don't have the exact number in mind, but if I remember correctly, altcoin represents 70% of their volume compared to BTC, which is not something that you see in, let's say, more global exchanges. In general, of course, that's a generality what I'm but in general, like the majority of the trade is like basically BTC, right? People are hoping into BTC and then in altcoin. But like Korea, interestingly enough, like it's not the case. Like altcoin is a thing here. And that's what I think makes the Korean market very interesting and one of a kind as well. But also a good opportunity for a lot of projects here, 100%.
1000%. So that kind of nonsense on-chain lens, that really surprised your team in general? Just curious.
Yes. So there is something that's some sort of a disclaimer that I always have is like, think about the on-chain data. There is no way you can say that, oh, I checked on-chain data and I know what is going on in Korea exclusively. Because it doesn't really work like that. It's like, if you check about, look, you have your wallet, you have your address wallet. We can know your behavior. We can know about, your results, stuff like that. But there is no way we can say, oh, this wallet is actually of someone living in Korea.
It is,
and so it's making things a bit more, let's say, it's a bit harder to actually map a specific country, a specific market based on on-chain data. And what I always share is that if you find someone that can basically do that, I'm always interested because either there's something wrong or they found something that I'm not aware of and I need to know.
It is.
Yeah, it's like that's very interesting. So that's a small disclaimer that I always share because people think that on-chain data can help you with geography. It's not, but there is workaround. So look, if you want to think about, we were saying about the centralized exchanges. As you know, with the new regulation, I think it's a regulation from 2019, right, in Korea. Only Korean, so basically you need a Korean passport or a Korean ID to use the centralized exchanges. Even I registered in Korea, I pay my taxes in Korea, and I don't even have the right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I can't. So it's like by default, I cannot KYC. So we know that basically the wallet going in and out of, let's say, a Bithumb, etc. Those are the wallets of people in Korea. Right, because by default, no one can use them.
True.
And then you can analyze a little bit what is going on behind. a bit sad, for example, but something that I realized back in the day is like when Lunatera happened, I saw a lot of outflows going to FTX. And I was like, oh no. So basically a lot of people were like, okay, something happened in Korea, I'm going to FTX, which was a bit sad, to be honest, checking this data afterwards. But like, so there is kind of a workaround, let's say, to find solution, to understand, to map a market. So we can do that. But definitely like on-chain data alone, I think just centralized exchanges usage in Korea alone is enough of a surprise, let's say, to just like compare things with like let's say your European market. You check, for example, what's going on in centralized exchanges in Europe or even US. You see very interesting things like, oh my God, people are hopping into icon. What? Me being French, I was so confused about that at first.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. But I think it's a good on-chain point to start with about the Korean markets.
1000%. I think it's a great sentiment. Korean users tend to follow each other as well, like following the meta. What's the best? Yeah, it's like what you said about the altcoin. That's why altcoin is really famous as well, because people chasing the yield and a lot of like gains. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and like it goes beyond on-chain data, but what I think is very interesting in Korea is that people knows about it. So let me explain. It's like if you go to France, for example, because I will speak about French because I'm French, right? That's something I know.
Yeah.
Let's say you go to France, and a majority of people, they don't know how to invest in general. They don't know how crypto works. They don't know how the TradFi works.
True.
Of course, there is a lot of investors, etc. But I think like it's something that you need to put a lot of effort to learn, let's say. But Korea, I have the impression, I don't know how, why, etc. But like, when I say to even the older generation, oh, I work in crypto, people are like, oh, okay, cool. I don't need to explain, And it's, I don't know where this is coming from. So I think it's like, I don't know if it's an interest of people here or like, or just a way to chase like a good deal, or a good money, basically. But I think it's particularly interesting that people are getting into that, like searching information, that's not something I see in other like markets. Of course, some markets are like that, but like based on my personal experience, pretty interesting to see.
It is. Yeah, we definitely like wanna find the new upcoming like sector like AI and crypto.
Yes.
Yeah, so they definitely like into that, and also as an investment, as a like interest, and also that on the media or everywhere, they really highlight those information. So that's why people are really interested in actually using it. So that's definitely really interesting.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, really interesting. Beyond the traders, teams building on Nansen's data and API, which we are using as well for our community on-chain data for their trading. What are some of the most creative or unexpected things you have seen built with Nansen data?
Yes, so we do have or API, CLI, or MCP. So just to clarify, that's the same data behind it. Is just the way you ingest that information, right? So API is you need to basically check what is going on there with the endpoint. CLI, it's your agent doing that for you, and the MCP is basically to use that with Claude or ChatGPT. So, but the idea behind is the same. It's like you have on-chain data and you do things. Actually, on the use case, there is this one guy on Twitter. So we reached to him because I was super interested. So he has an agent. Of course, no financial advice, as always, as just a way to explain how he works. He's actually using the CLI. So basically, his own agent is ingesting the on-chain data and all the information. And he has an agent trading for him. So basically, what it does is that you have your agent, your LLM, everything you need. You connect to Nansen to have real data. And then the agent trade or not based on what it found. So it's kind of an automation. So that alone, I think, is what we are seeing more and more, like agentic trading, right? But I think what is not even like the most important part is not even that. It was using the CLI to actually filter things. So from the start, he was explaining to me that he had like identified with the CLI, he had identified like 10,000 potential token. So basically, of course, it's on invest. We are talking about investment in P&L, right? But the thing is, like, if you just see this token alone, like 10,000, that's a huge amount. That's not something you want to check personally, right?
True.
So he had a system where it filters tokens. So what smart money, like who are the smart money jumping into this token? When are they getting, on ramp, off ramp? So all of that type of filters to the point that it arrived to, I think, 18 tokens, from 10,000 to 18. And then it told me that 15 of these 18 tokens had a particularly insane ROI. So, sorry, not ROI, a P&L.
Oh, wow.
So, which I think is very interesting because I never thought about Nansen being a filtering, I would say, in that sense. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, it's like due diligence. It's like identifying opportunities. But for him, it was like, oh, you know what? It's just to pick out those are not interesting to me at that point. And then keep only the thing that matters to me. This is very good. Like I never thought about it. That's insanely interesting. And the thing is, like, even insane is that it's made by an agent. So he had, of course, to work on the filtering. What are we talking about in terms of filter? So you still need a human behind, right? To just like, what is the strategy, et cetera, et cetera. But then as soon as you have that, the agent trade for you based on real data. And I just thought that particularly interesting. So I don't have the details of the filtering because I think he's done for himself, right? That's some sort of an alpha. So I'm like, please share. But I still think that's pretty interesting to do that. And it helps a lot with basically trading. It will go exactly in the same area. It's like, instead of doing due diligence for a specific token, you kind of revert that in a sense that, oh, I'm doing discovery, I have some interesting stuff, verify that match with my appetite, my strategy, etc., etc. And I cannot say it's like a huge surprise, but I think it's pretty interesting because, wow, apparently it's working. So that's
it is. Yeah, 1,000%. I think that's the future trading and a lot of liquidity and trading volume in general on on-chain, since there are a lot of valuable data. So I think he really like using the edge, using Nansen.
Yes, and to be honest, like, so that's something Alex, CEO of Nansen, right, shared previously, is that the more, like we grow, let's say in crypto and in AI, because that's both our links, right? And the more agentic trading you will have, right? So I always present Nansen as a data company because I still believe that's where it's important. But agentic trading is there, right? It's out there. And a lot of people are talking about it. And the question is like, how do you make sure that the people doing agentic trading have the data they need? This is why we have the Nansen CLI.
Yeah, that's really amazing to hear. And yes, so a lot of Nansen data in every single day, since we provide those on-chain data to Korean users. So yeah, it has been really, really helping our community as well. So
very cool.
Yeah, super bullish on that on
nice.
Nansen. Yeah.
No, that's great. That's great to hear. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Since we also education platform, so we try our best to provide like legit data instead of course, social sentiment is so important as well, because trading is not just all about like XYZ, people moving fun to like emotional reason as well, even with the meta everything. So I think if you mix with that, you obviously with your personal experience and Nansen on-chain data, there'll be like huge advantage than any other traders.
Exactly, and I cannot align more on that. We talk about like Korean traders being very hyped and jump directly into things, and there is some positive in that, but there is also something that I tend to say is like sometimes we need to cool down a little bit. Why I'm sharing that? Because we know that crypto sometimes it can go down really quickly.
True.
Right, and so sometimes taking 1 minute to check what you are doing might save your portfolio. It's as simple as that. It's like, look, you can go to Nansen. I'm interested in this token equity, whatever. I'm interested in that. Give me the sentiment, on-chain sentiment. Either like who are the top holders of this token? What is basically smart money is doing? Etc. etc. You have 1 minute, you check that, and maybe you are saving your portfolio. And I saved some of my portfolio like that, because sometimes like the sentiment is extremely important, especially in crypto.
True.
But sometimes it can go wrong. And so keep in mind that I tend to be like very careful myself. I'm not your regular DJ, right? So keep that in mind. But of course, it depends on your risk appetite. It's like if you're super into meme coin, I go ahead. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, if you like the adrenaline or like jumping into things and see how that goes, who am I to tell you anything? But the large majority of traders, we are not, right? And having like a lens of what is going on before making a decision, that's what can serve your portfolio. And that's why I always say like, hey, breathe. There is a hype, but sometimes you never know. So always double check, always verify, do your due diligence, and that's very important. And sometimes we forget.
1000%. That's also Korean users need to know, because they tend to follow others. So so that's a really good advice. And just curious, what's next for Nansen in the Korean market or Asian market, since you are expert in your job, and anything you can share on Korean language support or community or local plans?
Yeah, sure. So a lot here, of course, Korea, a lot of developers, a lot of people that are interesting to work with data. So I'm building, I won't share the names yet, but I'm building some partnerships, to give access to information, to give access to data, to make, you were talking about education as well. That's part of it. So that's something that I'm building step by step. But the idea is like, as soon as you need on-chain data, we're here. Basically, you need someone to help you with due diligence, we're here. That's the idea. But yes, we do have actually Korean support. I think a lot of people don't know that. So we have an app on basically on your smartphone. You can download this app, and it's available in Korean. And what I love about this app is like you don't really have like a ton of dashboard that can be a bit hard to use. You have an AI basically. So ask about the AI, and it's the same data behind, right? Same data behind. But instead of like having, you go to the dashboard, you check XYZ, then you just go to the AI and you ask whatever you want in Korean. And I tested it actually with a few native Korean users, traders, in fact. And I was like, okay, I want you to verify that it's giving right Korean answers and it's not like out of. But it's actually apparently it's actually very good. So I do recommend to try the app, try the CLI if you're interested in like building. But I think this is what we are doing right now. We have done a hackathon as well with Base, so making sure that anyone building can build with basically the data they need. That's pretty much what we are doing here. And the next step, I think, in terms of event, potentially, I'm trying to see if I can do something during the Korean Blockchain Week. So, step by step. Yeah, but as always, data focus. Anytime you need someone, we're here. As simple as it is.
Yes, you are really, really helpful for that. And also, I personally use the application and it's really good Korean as well.
Oh, very
So,
cool. Happy to hear
yeah,
that.
yeah. Really, really good. And also, us as a builders, we are using Nansen API. And
Nice.
so, yeah, so we are happy to use Nansen as a partners and I love to collaborate with during the Korea Blockchain Week. So definitely,
I keep
we
that
are,
in mind. You will hear
yeah,
about me in a few.
1000%. Yeah, we love Nansen and as a partner, as a friend. So definitely wanna
Oh, very nice. Thank
work
you.
more closely and great products. And yeah, I mean to just sum up and wrapping up.
Yeah.
There's a last question. Where can our viewers follow Nansen and try the products and closing message for the Korean community?
Yeah, sure. So to follow Nansen, there is a few ways, of course. Just go to Twitter.
Mhm.
You can Twitter X nowadays, I think. So you just go to X, follow Nansen, and you will have all the news, etc., like displayed to you. And if you don't speak English, you have like the auto translate, which makes things a bit easier nowadays to have this information. So that's the first one. Of course, go to Nansen. A large part of our product is free. So either you go to nansen.ai, this is our main product on web, or you download the app and you play with the LLM, basically, and you can ask a question. I don't know, who are the top holders for this token? And you have this information available to you. And so, yeah, follow us on Twitter. I mean, the choice is yours, as always. But that's the best way to find information. And we also post a lot about what's going on chain. So you have a lot of information about, oh, we see that on Twitter. Is this correct? We see that on the news. Is it correct? So it gives you a little bit of an piece of insight that I think could be interesting as well. If you of course are interested in that kind of stuff, which I think if you are watching this this video, but yeah, and to the Korean user, to be honest, I've been in crypto for more than 10 years, and I've been working from Korea for more than 6 years now, in crypto from Korea for more than 6 years now. Yeah, the OG is back. But like, joke aside, very interesting market. Anyone that I meet here is it's just like, I love working. That's what I say internally. Like I love to work with my people, and I'm not even Korean. So it's just like, I love it. The market is very interesting. I see a lot of builders with a lot of very good idea, and this is one of the reasons I'm doing more and more, for example, like hackathon, because I want to make sure that we support people that have good idea, that are very interested in the market, and they are making moves here. So yeah, if you see me, say hi. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
And I do speak Korean, so please go ahead.
Yeah, don't get afraid to talk to her. And yeah, I love the hackathon as well. The great energy people are building and really optimistic about the future. So definitely one of the great place to visit. Hackathon and in Korea, food is great, people are great. Yeah, safe, and so everything. So yeah, thank you for your time today, and
No worries.
looking
Thanks for
forward
the invite.
looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in Korea, and everyone in Korea during the Korea Blockchain Week.
Yeah. Thank you for your time
All right.
today.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Have a good day.
Bye bye.